Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished the final episode of The Last of Us Season 1. Now, the ending of the show is very much like the ending of the game, in that it's a very morally gray scenario where Joel commits an unspeakable act that probably dooms all of mankind. But you understand why he did it just like in the games, and you can understand that after all this time with someone like Ellie, he can't just let her die even if it would help the survival of mankind. Plus, we get to see something a little extra, which was apparently a planned DLC that never made it into the original game. But let's get to the story, shall we? The episode opens with Ashley Johnson, the original voice of Ellie, playing Anna, Ellie's mother, who gets to give birth to Ellie after she has to deal with a cordyceps infected person. She runs over to a house. She happens to do a pretty brutal knife kill for a pregnant woman. Honestly, she does a very good job. And she happens to give birth to Ellie and make sure she's not infected, though she is infected herself, forcing Marlene to put her out of her misery before she goes nuts. Back in the present, we get to see the famous giraffe scene from the game, and Joel and Ellie are taken in by the Fireflies after they get to the location they were specified to go to. Marlene tells Joel that they're going to perform a surgery on Ellie that could theoretically create a cure in order to save mankind. And unfortunately, they can't use anyone else for this cure. It has to be Ellie. So Joel happens to kill all the Fireflies to save Ellie, including Marlene, and he lies to her in order to basically have her believe that there was no hope for a cure in the first place, so he doesn't have her go against him. And Ellie kind of gets that he's lying to her, but she forces herself to think that he's telling the truth. That's how I interpret it. I know this is an ending that caused a lot of people to get really angry when the first game came out. A lot of people said Joel really shouldn't have done that. He really should have just let her go to help mankind, considering how screwed up the whole world is. But the way I see it, it actually does fit into the story's overall themes. The whole unconditional love that Joel feels for Ellie, the same way he felt that unconditional love for Sarah. Sarah's gone, but he can't experience that kind of loss again, especially since after the first time, he didn't even want to live at that point, but he forced himself to keep going because he had to realize that there was something else to give his life meaning, that he had to give himself another reason to live after the light of his life was gone. And you can see why he does that even if everyone else suffers for it. Because when you truly love someone like the way a parent loves a child, they're the most important thing in the world to you. And everyone else just fades away when you become focused on that person. So in both the game and the show, I can see why Joel did this, and Pedro Pascal really gives his best acting in the series as he mows down several Firefly soldiers. And even in his final conversation with Marlene, you can tell that both he and Marlene have genuinely good reasons to do what they do, and no one's the bad guy or the evil person in this scenario. It's just two people doing what they think is right for either themselves, in Joel's case, or for everyone else in Marlene's case. And it's very clear that this isn't what Ellie would have wanted, but that didn't matter to Joel. He couldn't lose someone that close to him again, especially since he just found a reason to keep on going. So yeah, I thought it was brilliantly done. I thought the expansion of adding Anna's section to the start of the episode really got me to acknowledge how well the original voice cast was implemented into the season. Though I am kind of concerned if they're going to adapt Last of Us 2, because I know how controversial that game was, how people really didn't like how the story went in that season. But considering how popular this season was, there's absolutely going to be a second one. So, are they going to go the same route as they did with Last of Us Part 2? Are they going to switch things around like they did in this season to make it better? I don't know. But as far as this season goes, I think it's an example of a video game adaptation done right. in writing, acting, and even in some of the changes that it goes for, depending from the game to the show. I don't think it's on the level of, like, the Castlevania or Arcane adaptations, but it's pretty darn close. Most of my issues are very minor. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10, and I hope Season 2 goes over well. See you next time.